I'm a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude.
Hello collectors, and welcome to the Discount Action Figure Dude. I am your host, Christopher. So, not too long ago, I was looking around for some stuff, and on the site freaktoys.com, a very reputable vendor, I saw this loose old Toy Biz Bishop. I'm like, oh man, I need to check this guy out. I like him. He didn't cost a lot of money, so I went ahead and purchased him. And I love the way he looks. Now, in comparison to this guy, the X-Men '97 Bishop. Now, he's a better figure, but the problem with this guy, now mind you, he does represent Bishop on my X-Men shelf. I have a Mezco Bishop, but he is firmly situated right there. I'm pointing at him. You can't see me point, but on my shelf of black heroes. But the problem with this guy, it's not a problem, but he's just so pretty. I mean, he's just so goddamn handsome. He is just too pretty. This is a bishop that foliates and moisturizes before he goes out to his post-apocalyptic war to waste some suckers. He really does look very, very, very good. He's very clean. And even his M on his over his right eye seems professionally stenciled by a beauty expert. It's almost as if the creator of the show, Bo DeMaio, modeled this particular bishop after himself, or maybe he modeled him after somebody he'd like to date. Now, before you attack me on that, Bo DeMaio is proudly and openly gay, so do not attack me on that. As opposed to this guy. Everything about him is messed up. I mean, this is a bishop who's been through some shit. He has struggled in life. He is dirty. He is grounded. The M on his eye, somebody took with a rusty blade, a rusty butter knife, and dug up in that face. Everything is in this. He is not in a good way. This is a post-apocalyptic character, if ever there was one. Now, I mentioned this because when I bought this guy, he only came with, now mind you, this is a video about guns, I know, but he only came with his super blaster, which is cool. But unlike this bishop doesn't have a side holster, but this bishop does. And I'm like, oh, he didn't come with his side holster gun. That's too bad. And sure, I have guns I could put in there, but they all look silly. I want like a nice gun to put in his side holster. Then one day, while going through Temu, however you pronounce it, I saw a little box a keychain gun, and it looked good in the picture. So I'm like, well, I wonder. I mean, and it cost $2.48. So I was thinking, you know what, I'll buy that, $2.48. You know, if it looks crap, I'll just, whatever. And if it looks good, I will use it as a sidearm for my man Bishop. Then I get the gun in the mail. A few days. It doesn't take long with old Temu. And no, the gun doesn't look as good as it did in the picture because this sucker looked better than it did in the picture. This is a fine looking firearm. I'm like, oh my goodness. Made out of some kind of zinc alloy metal or something, I think they said. I'm like, oh, okay, well, all I gotta do now is, I mean, I guess you could use it for a keychain if you're a gun guy and you wanted a Colt 357 Magnum Python as a keychain, you could do that. And all you gotta do is just cut off the keychain part And now you got this beautiful, I mean beautiful gun to use for Bishop. And it fits very nice in his side holster. And he looks like he is ready to do some quick draw action on this sucker. Yeah, that was a winner. So I'm thinking, do they have any other guns? Maybe it's keychains that I might be able to buy for you, for my figures, particularly my McFarlane figures who don't come with guns. As a matter of fact, my friends, they do. But before we begin this presentation of this glorious set of weaponry that we have assembled for you today, we feel that this is something that should be done correctly. And therefore, we have invited a special guest in the form of 1950s voiceover guy to be our master of ceremonies. I will still be providing the hands for 1950s voiceover guy.
Well, thank you, Discount Action Figure Man.
It's dude.
Whatever. We have a very special presentation for you today where we take a look at some firearms which have started out life as simple keychains, but from their humble beginnings, they will now end up in the hands of some high-quality psychotics. And boy, do we have an impressive list of psychotics to model these firearms for you on this day. But before we go any further, make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and smash that notification bell.
Whoa, 1950s voiceover guy, that's not something we do here.
You don't say!
No sir. While we certainly do appreciate every single person who has subscribed, even going, so far as to offer giveaways once we hit a certain number, like our current giveaway, which is, if you just hold on for 1 second, ZD Toys, Venomized Captain America, as soon as we hit 750 subs. But we don't ask people to do that. I mean, they can if they want to, but if they don't, that's cool too. This is America, and the Discount Action Figure Dude supports freedom.
Well, I do admire your patriotism, Discount Action Figure Man. And my apologies, or as the kids will say, that's all my bad. Moving on. Demonstrating these firearms today, we have quite the rogues gallery. There's Floyd Lawton, who goes by the moniker of Deadshot. Over here we have Robert Dubois, better known in the criminal cycles as Bloodspot. Discount Action Figure Man, what are those in his hand? What are those things in his hand?
I think they're, I'm not sure. They look like swords, but they don't have, sharp tips. I don't know.
Well, whatever they are, they look terrible. Can you dispose of them properly?
My pleasure. 1950s voiceover guy. I have no problems doing that at all.
As the Germans would say, Discount Action Figure Man, Danke schön. And in this corner we have Christopher Smith, who goes by the nom de guerre of Peacemaker. And lest we forget Jason Todd, one of Batman's many child soldiers who after being murdered would go on to become the Red Hood. And what display of firearms would be complete without the inclusion of one Frank Castle, better known to you and me as the Punisher. Hey Frank, how's the family? And since some of the guns are too large to fit in the tiny palms of our once 12 scale figures, we have, how do you say that again, Discount Action Figure Man?
It's Zatoichi.
Zatoichi! What exactly is that, Discount Action Figure Man?
It's, he's kind of an invention. He's Zatoichi is real, but this is somebody I just kind of threw together urban Zatoichi.
He looks like a blind man to me.
He is a blind man. He's a blind swordsman. That's what a Zatoichi is.
And you're gonna put a gun in his hand?
That would be the plan, sir, yes.
Well, if you think that's a good idea, but as he just said, the Zatoichi to handle the larger guns that the tiny palms of the other figures cannot hold. And of course, we'd like to send out a special thanks to our host, the legendary purveyor of illegal firearms, Prophet Director Destro. Give the Baroness my love, Destro. And now with the formalities out of the way, let's get down to the brass tacks. Let's start things off with the aforementioned Colt Python 357 Magnum. With its elongated barrel, chrome plating, and well-designed grip, this is a firearm that's just as stylish as it is intimidating. And all for just $2.48. Like Dirty Harry, any punk who approaches the Punisher will most certainly make his day. Now for those who want to get in touch with their inner Nazi, we have the Mauser M1896. With its classic design and a bronze finish made it to a $2.99 asking price. Be you a classic Nazi or a neo-Nazi, this is a gun that will make any Nazi proud. Isn't that right, Peacemaker? My good friends in Russia, we have the Nagat M1895 with its modern finish made it to its old school design. This is one fine looking revolver at a low price of $2.98. Bloodsport asked me to forgive his French, but in his words, this is the perfect gun to blow a motherfucker away. Newsflash, Bloodsport, that isn't French. Now, for one of our larger guns, for 1/6 figures, we have the Glock P18C, both in metallic black and in gunmetal gray. With both guns glocking in, at an economical $2.98. With its sleek look, fantastic feel, and beautiful appearance, the P18C is the pinnacle of Austrian design. I'm sure if the blind man could see, he'd be duly impressed with what was in his hands. Nonetheless, it still looks good on you, Mr. Zatoichi.
It's Zatoichi.
Whatever. Also, for the 1/6 figures, we have the Magnum Research 50 caliber Desert Eagle. The certain gun of choice if you need someone to alter their way of thinking. With its glossy gunmetal gray finish and its beautiful grip, this is one gorgeous sidearm. Even the Zatoichi might not be able to see the power of this firearm, but believe me, he can feel it. Next, we have the Automat Kalashnikova M47, or AK-47 for you non-Russian speakers. A classic assault rifle complete with a rocket launcher attachment. Long, sleek, light and deadly, if not too terribly reliable, for the low price of $8.97. Red Hood agrees. This is one of the better methods to help clean out a room. Behind you, Red Hood, it's the Joker. Ha ha! Yanking your chain, Red Hood! Yanking your chain! Now we have a firearm I personally own in the Colt M911. Classic, if ever there was a gun. Subtlety is not a strong point of this firearm, and I have been accused on more than one occasion for overcompensation. But all that fancy talk goes out the door once I put a bullet in them the size of Texas. I'm gonna have to check the serial number on that one, Deadshot, because I think that one belongs to me. Finally, we have the AK-M762, which is truly a work of art. Features turquoise, though it comes in many colors, and it is also equipped with a detachable magazine and a suppressor. All of this metal goodness will set you back a whopping $10.48, but we think that's money well spent when you see enemies in chunks and pieces at your feet. Isn't that right, Peacemaker? Peacemaker? Perhaps we should give Peacemaker some personal time with this weapon. You have some extra words, Discount Action Figure Man?
Thank you, 1950s voiceover guy. I do. Also in the package, I just want to point out, we got this rather lovely looking sword which I don't know, which is also a keychain. It comes with a something to put your keys on. This cost $7.98. I think, I don't know if it would replace Mr. Zatoichi's sword, but it is quite the lovely accoutrement, I think. Also, for $7.98, we got this rather impressive looking bow and arrow set. Which again, you know, for some reason, you could use this as a keychain. It seems like it wouldn't be a very nice keychain because, you know, the arrows would fall off constantly. And I don't see any place where you can hang the bow. I mean, this is clearly some kind of display piece. If you don't have any kids around. But the bow, actually, you can actually thread the bow and, yeah, fire that sucker. Oh, I'm sorry. We're aiming for you, Prophet Director. But yeah, there you go. I mean, this is very nice as well. Nice little, and again, a nice little beautiful, if not gaudy, bow and arrow and sword. Nice.
Well, as the kids say, it's been a blast, Discount Action Figure Man. But like Cinderella, the clock has struck midnight, and it's time for me to get back to my own time. Again, thanks for the invite, Discount Action Figure Man, and remember, keep on collecting.